So WNBA vets, a lot of them, seem to almost be furious with Caitlin Clark at times. And this is not these vets hate Caitlin Clark, because they don't hate Caitlin Clark. But there's one thing that looks like it could very well be the case. Not necessarily that these players hate Caitlin Clark, but that these players, a lot of these WNBA players, there is some form of just a wind-up merchant. Caitlin Clark appears to be just a wind-up merchant. This isn't a hatred thing. This isn't a targeted thing. But she just appears to be winding these players up, and they can't deal with it. We've seen her, again, with Skylar Diggins. Skylar Diggins is as hyped a guard as there has ever been. Like, she was... Like, if we're talking about hyped guards, to be fair, mainly I'm saying this because the year I watched the most WNBA was 2013. The Skylar Diggins draft, Elena Delle Donne, Brittany Griner. That's probably the most I've watched in one of those drafts. But, like, Skylar Diggins obviously hits her as she is hyping up the home crowd towards the bench of the other team. Boom. That's the hit. Coach, let's throw Caitlin Clark out of this game. And Caitlin Clark's response? Look at what goes on here. So, she's there. She shushes them. And then she shushes them, goes, why is it always about me? And then tells them to stop crying. Oh my God, like. So. Oh. This is Iowa. Caitlin Clark is. This is Iowa Caitlin Clark. She's now comfortable enough that she is the biggest trash talker. This is what we need. No more being nice to everyone. I think she's still going to be nice to people off the floor. But, like, she's genuinely, like, going at it. Like, this is Iowa Caitlin Clark. This is Iowa Caitlin Clark again. And in what was the funniest play of the entire game, by the way. And this is why I'll never mind trash talking. Like, I don't mind. And this is where it's, like, trash talk fails. And this is why, like, I love seeing trash talk fails at times, because like this one is my favorite trash talk fail of the year. This one right here. So Caitlin Clark, Wickham is driving to the basket, and Caitlin Clark swats Wickham, screams in her face before getting the ball, and then immediately afterwards decides to go one-on-one Essie McMcCoy and gets sent into the post. Gets sent into the basket post right after it. That is one of my favorite plays of the year, because it is trash talk, complete failure of trash talk. But like, Caitlin Clark has now. This is not the Caitlin Clark that was there at the start of the year. This is not the Caitlin Clark that's scared of any of these players. This is now a rested Caitlin Clark, who not only is one of the best players in the league, knows she's one of the best players in the league. And I don't mind it as long as it doesn't. Just like, again, I've never really minded trash talk in basketball because you have to back it up. I don't mind trash talking if you can, again, if you can back it up. Because if you trash talk and then fail, as in when she screamed in Wickham's face and gets swatted, it's also good. It's also good to see people that are going to talk trash lose, or not even lose, like, get their comeuppance. Like, it is a fun thing for the sport of basketball. It is just fun for basketball seeing players like Caitlin Clark. Like, she's just a fun basketball player to watch. And that is, for me, all that really matters at the end of the day. It's very, very important that players are enjoyable to watch. Just like it's very important that players are good. Watching players being fun is a big flaw with the WNBA, because as I've said plenty of times, A'ja Wilson is not fun to watch. Juju Watkins is fun to watch, who's coming in. And you guys see the clip of her, like, I know it was a pickup game, but like her nearly like how close she is to dunking. Like, and this is like cocked it back, yammed it. Like, Juju Watkins is freakishly good. Her all-around game isn't that of Caitlin Clark's as far as everything she does on offense. No, there's nobody that generates points like Caitlin Clark has. I'll say this, in the history of basketball, there are not that many players that generate points like Clark. Especially in a 40-minute game. Like, what she can do is just beyond comprehension at times. So, yeah. That's always a fun one. It's always a fun one when we see stuff like this. And it's good seeing the conversation now being about the basketball. It's good seeing people talking about the basketball when it comes to Caitlin Clark. No more BS. And that's the thing where it's like, we saw the what was, I will say this page was one of the Caitlin Clark hater pages. Like, this was a page that did not give Caitlin Clark Rookie of the Week for like the first 9 weeks of the year. And I was shocked. I thought after Angel Reese had her 20 and 20 game that Angel Reese was going to win Rookie of the Week again. But on this Trendy Hoop Stars page, Caitlin Clark got Player of the Week. Like, you're now seeing a lot of the people that were, for lack of a better word, like maybe it was the hype. Maybe it was just wanting to be a contrarian or not believing she was good as the hype and nitpicking stuff, realizing, okay, yeah, Caitlin Clark is that good. But I do think what's going to happen now is we're going to see Caitlin Clark hype, like everyone realizing how good she is, and then she's going to reach a level of hype where they tear her back down. I think now it's like, because there were bad comparisons, and I now think that by comparing Caitlin Clark to Angel Reese, you're doing Angel Reese a disservice because there is no comparison anymore. And I think that if it wasn't for the fact, like, let's just say it was just a given that Caitlin Clark had won Rookie of the Year, I think there wouldn't be anyone hating on Angel Reese's rookie year because she's had a good rookie year, just not in comparison to Caitlin Clark. It's just a bad look when there are people that clearly aren't watching basketball that are saying Angel Reese is even comparable to Caitlin Clark at this point in her career. Maybe at some stage. Maybe at some stage, by this point in her career, there's no comparison. And I think even the biggest Angel fans, even people I think maybe long-term, just because of the intangible stuff that Angel Reese does that no one else does, and Angel Reese might be the better player, I think people are like, okay, yeah, there's actually no arguments. Like, she's averaging 20 and 13 over her last 10, or 23 and 13 over her last 10 games. You're like, no. Like, over the last, again, for the second half, if you take away the first 10 games of the WNBA season, when the Fever were 1-9, again, like, it happens, so you can't just take that away. Those first 10 games are the only reason Caitlin Clark is not neck and neck with AJ Wilson for MVP. Like, after those first 10 games, I'm pretty sure she's averaging, like, 20 and 11? Something stupid like that. While her team since that period have had basically the same record as the Aces. So, like, she goes in neck and neck with AJ Wilson in MVP talks. Maybe Age is a little bit ahead, but obviously after those first 10 games, she was not so bad, but she has had a not nearly as good first 10 games as she had last 15 or last 17 or 18, whatever it is. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Good one to see, and it's a wrong thing I clicked on, and always good to see people talking about the basketball. Even if it is some crap like this, look, anything that makes more people want to watch is great.